My friend, let me ask you a question that might quietly change the rest of your life. What is the greatest investment you will ever make? Some people will say land. Others will say gold stocks or real estate. Some will talk about starting a business, buying property, or chasing the next big trend. But look deeper for a moment. Imagine all of those things disappearing overnight. The business fails, the market crashes, the house burns down, the car breaks down, the job is gone. What is left? The answer is simple, but most people ignore it. The greatest investment you will ever make is not in land, not in gold, not in the stock market, not in a company. It is in you. At first, that might sound like just another motivational sentence, but if you truly let it sink in, it will rearrange the way you live. Because if you do not invest in yourself, your mind, your skills, your health, your character, then no matter how much money you touch, it will slip through your fingers sooner or later. Opportunities will come and go, and you will watch them pass by like trains at a station where you never get on. But when you invest in yourself, something powerful happens. You become stronger. You become wiser. You become more valuable to the world every single day. And when you become more valuable, life begins to treat you differently. Doors that were once closed start to open. People who once ignored you start to notice. Situations that used to confuse you become opportunities you can handle. Every truly successful person you admire, whether it's a billionaire who built a company from nothing, a leader who inspires millions, an artist whose work touches hearts, or an athlete who breaks records, understands one simple secret. The only thing no one can ever take from you is the person you become. You can lose your money, you can lose your job, you can lose your house, your car, your title, but you cannot lose your skills. You cannot lose your knowledge. You cannot lose your character. Those things are woven into who you are. They live inside you. They travel with you wherever you go. They are the kind of treasures that cannot be stolen, broken, or destroyed. Money can vanish in a single bad decision or a single bad year. A business can fail because of one crisis. A job can disappear because someone else made a choice. The economy can shake, the market can fall, but if you have invested in yourself, really invested, then you can start again. You can rebuild. You can reinvent. Because the real wealth is not outside you, it is inside you. That is why people who deeply invest in themselves are not truly afraid of losing. Of course they don't want to fail, but they know this. As long as I still have me, I can create success again. So the first step toward a better life is not asking, when will the world treat me fairly? The first step is asking, who am I becoming? Many people are waiting for the world to change before they change themselves. They say things like, if I get a better job, then I'll work harder. If I earn more money, then I'll learn new skills. If I meet the right people, then I'll become confident. This is backward thinking. Life doesn't work like that. The outside always follows the inside. When you grow, your life grows. When you improve, your opportunities improve. When you become stronger, your results become stronger. Investing in yourself means giving your time, your energy, and your resources to your own growth. It means choosing learning over laziness. It means picking up a book instead of scrolling mindlessly for hours. It means practicing a skill instead of chasing another distraction. It means spending money on a course that sharpens you instead of buying another thing that will sit on a shelf. It means taking care of your body, your mind, and your character like they are your most precious assets, because they are. If you put money in a bank, it might grow at 5%, maybe 10%. That's fine, but it's limited. When you invest in yourself, the growth is not 5% or 10%. It can be 1,000%. Because when you grow as a person, you don't just upgrade one area, You upgrade every area, learn to communicate better, and suddenly your work improves, your relationships deepen, and your confidence rises. Take care of your health, and suddenly your mind is clearer, your energy is higher, and your goals feel more possible. Grow your mindset, and suddenly obstacles start looking like lessons, and problems start looking like puzzles you can solve. One investment in yourself creates a ripple effect across your whole life. Think about this: you buy a new phone. It feels amazing for a while. Then slowly, it becomes slow, outdated, and less exciting. You might replace it in a year or two. Now imagine spending the same money on a skill. Public speaking, digital marketing, coding, coaching, teaching, design, anything. That skill does not become outdated in the same way. In fact, it becomes more powerful the more you use it. It goes with you to every job, every city, every season of life. It keeps opening doors again and again. That is the difference between spending and investing. Spending ends. Investing multiplies. Never forget, the most important project you will ever work on is you. The most powerful place you can pour your energy is into your own growth. When you invest in yourself, you are building something no crisis, no mistake, and no person can easily destroy. You are building the foundation of lifelong success. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. There were two young men who grew up in the same small town. Let's call them David and Michael. Their stories are different, but pay attention, because in some ways they might be your story too. They had similar lives growing up. Same kind of houses. Same kind of schools. They played on the same streets and shared the same simple dreams. Their parents worked hard just to keep things going. No one was rich. No one had a big advantage. They were in many ways equal at the starting line. But when school ended, life gave them a choice. And that's when their paths slowly began to separate. David decided he wanted comfort more than growth. He didn't like the idea of pushing himself too much. Life in his mind was meant to be enjoyed. He found a simple job that paid just enough to get by. When he got home in the evening, he told himself he was too tired to read, too tired to learn, too tired to build something new. So what did he do? He spent hours watching shows, scrolling on his phone, and hanging out with friends who talked a lot but didn't grow much. When he felt a little uncomfortable about his future, he silenced that feeling by telling himself, "I just want to enjoy my life. I don't want extra stress. I'll think about growth later." At first it seemed fun. No pressure, no extra work, no risk. But slowly, year after year, comfort turned into a cage. He stayed in the same job, never promoted, never trusted with bigger responsibilities. Why not? Because he was stupid, not because he was unlucky, but because he never invested in himself. He stopped learning. He stopped stretching. He stopped evolving. He looked at other people moving forward and felt jealous. He told himself stories. They are lucky. They have connections. Life is unfair. But deep down in the quiet moments, he knew. He had chosen comfort over growth. He had chosen short-term ease over long-term success. Michael's story was different. He also got a job after school, but he made a quiet promise to himself: "I will not waste my evenings. I will not waste my life." After work, when others were collapsing into the couch, he picked up books. He read about success, business mindset, communication, leadership. On the bus or train, he listened to audio lessons instead of random noise. At first, some people laughed at him. They called him too serious, too ambitious, too much. He kept going. He joined a local group where he practiced public speaking. He was nervous. His hands shook. His voice cracked. But he showed up again and again, and slowly, his fear turned into strength. He started taking his health seriously too. He went for short runs, did simple exercises, drank more water, tried to eat better. Nothing extreme, just small, consistent improvements. Over time, he noticed something beautiful. He had more energy, more focus, more clarity. He began to tell himself a different story. I want to be more valuable every year. Even if it's just one small step at a time, I will grow. Now fast forward 10 years. David is still in the same position, at the same job, complaining about the same problems. His salary barely covers his expenses. His body is tired. His spirit is heavy. The friends who always talked about enjoying life are still stuck in the same loop. When he looks at his life, he feels older than he is, and inside he carries a quiet, painful regret. Michael's life looks completely different. Because he kept investing in himself, people noticed. His bosses saw his skills and his attitude. He was promoted more than once. He became a leader, someone others looked up to. He used his savings and skills to start a small side business. It didn't explode overnight, but slowly it grew. He feels healthy, energetic, and alive. People respect him not only for what he does, but for who he is. Friends come to him for advice. Younger people want to learn from him. He isn't perfect, but he is growing constantly. Now tell me what was truly different between them. Not their family, not their school, not their city. The difference was one decision repeated every day. One chose comfort, the other chose growth. That is the power of self-investment. Your life is not decided only by where you start. It is shaped by how much you grow. Choose comfort, and you stay where you are. Choose growth, and slowly, step by step, you build a life that looks completely different from the one you started in. So ask yourself honestly in this season of your life, are you living like David or like Michael? Now I want you to imagine your life as a garden. A garden can be a place of beauty, peace, and abundance, but only if someone cares for it. If you plant good seeds, water them, and protect them from weeds, the garden becomes full of color and life. But if you neglect it, if you leave it empty or unattended, weeds and thorns do not ask for permission. They simply take over. Your life works exactly the same way. Your mind, your body, and your character are the soil of your personal garden. If you take care of them, they will reward you with strength, confidence, clarity, and success. If you neglect them, something else will grow in their place. Laziness, fear, bad habits, regret. Nature hates emptiness. Something will always grow. The question is, what are you planting? Think about your mind. If you feed it with knowledge, wisdom, and positive thoughts, it becomes rich and alive. Your ideas become brighter. Your creativity flows. You handle challenges with clarity instead of panic. But if you fill your mind with gossip, negativity, constant distractions, and meaningless noise, then weeds of doubt, insecurity, and fear begin to grow. Suddenly, you feel stuck, confused, and unsure of yourself, not because you are weak, but because you have allowed the wrong seeds to take root. Now think about your body. If you nourish it with good food, regular movement, and proper rest, it becomes strong and dependable. You wake up with more energy. You think more clearly. You feel lighter, more capable. But if you ignore your health, if you live on junk food, no movement, and little sleep, then slowly but surely your body sends you a bill. Fatigue creeps in. Pain appears. Illness becomes more frequent. And when you want to chase your dreams, your body quietly says, I can't keep up. Your character is the deepest part of your garden. If you water it with honesty, discipline, kindness, and courage, you grow into someone people can trust. Someone people want to follow. Someone whose presence brings strength. But neglect your character lie when it's easy. Break promises, avoid responsibility, and the weeds of selfishness, laziness, and weakness begin to spread. And those weeds can destroy everything else you have built. Investing in yourself is like watering your garden every day. It might look small at first, reading a few pages, doing a short workout, practicing a skill, writing a goal. But over time, those little acts create a life full of fruit. Your growth will not always be visible right away. Just like a seed in the soil, a lot of important changes happen where no one can see them. But if you stay consistent, your garden will change. Your life will change. So how do you practically invest in yourself? Many people understand the idea but feel lost when they try to act on it. They think self-investment means spending a lot of money or doing something complicated. In reality, it is about daily choices. What you read, how you spend your time, the habits you repeat, the people you allow around you. These decisions repeated over time shape your entire future. Let's break it down. First, invest in learning. Knowledge is one of the greatest powers you can ever own. The more you know, the more options you have. Every problem you solve, every idea you create, every decision you make is influenced by what you know. If you stop learning, you stop growing. You can invest in learning in many ways. Read books, take courses, watch high-quality lessons, listen to educational podcasts or audio while you travel. You don't have to study for hours and hours in a stressful way. Even 30 focused minutes a day of real learning can transform your life over time. Some people say, but books and courses cost money. My friend, staying stuck costs far more. Think of the opportunities you might miss because you did not know what to do. Think of the wrong decisions you might make because no one taught you a better way. Sometimes one book, one class, or even one powerful idea can save you years of confusion. So make learning a non-negotiable part of your day. Even when you are busy, give yourself at least a small block of time to grow your mind. 1 year from now, you will not recognize the person you have become. Invest in your health. You cannot enjoy success if your body is falling apart. You cannot give your best if you are always exhausted. Your body is the vehicle through which you experience everything: opportunities, relationships, achievements, joy. If you lose your health, everything else becomes harder. Taking care of your health does not need to be complicated. Eat more foods that actually nourish you, not just comfort you. Drink enough water. Give yourself real sleep, not just late-night scrolling until you pass out. Move your body in some way every day. Walking, stretching, running, dancing, anything. A strong body feeds a strong mind. When your health improves, your focus improves. Your mood improves. Your motivation increases. And if you ignore your health now, life will make you pay the price later in ways that hurt far more than the effort of exercising or eating better. Remember, you can change houses. You can change jobs. You can change cars. But you only get one body. Take care of it like it matters because it does. Third, invest in your mindset. Your thoughts shape your reality more than you realize. If you always think small, you will live small. If you always think negatively, life will feel heavy and hostile. But if you train your mind to look for possibilities instead of only problems, your entire world shifts. A strong mindset does not mean pretending everything is perfect. It means facing real problems with courage and belief. It means saying, "This is hard, but I can grow through it." You can build this mindset by filling your mind with uplifting stories, powerful lessons, and inspiring voices. Write down your goals every day, even if they scare you. Practice gratitude. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow, not people who drag you down. Over time, a strong mindset becomes armor. Life can hit you, but it cannot easily break you. Instead of, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I become stronger because of it?" Fourth, invest in your skills. The world does not pay people for existing. It pays people for the value they bring. And value comes from skills. If you want to earn more, don't just beg for higher pay. Become someone whose contribution is worth more. Learn skills that the world needs: communication, leadership, problem solving, technology, teaching, writing, design, negotiation, whatever aligns with your path. Two people can work the same 8 hours. One earns just enough to survive, the other earns enough to build a future. The difference is not just time, the difference is skills. Every new skill is like adding another tool to your toolbox. The more tools you have, the more problems you can solve, and the more opportunities you can create. Fifth, invest in your relationships. No one truly succeeds alone. Behind every success story, there are people, mentors, friends, partners, supporters. The right relationships can open doors, offer wisdom, and lift you up when you fall. The wrong relationships can drain you, distract you, and hold you back. Invest in relationships by being present, by listening, by helping, by giving more than you take. Don't just ask, what can I get from this person? Ask, how can I add value to this person's life? When you live that way, you naturally attract better people. Also, be wise about your circle. If you surround yourself with people who complain, procrastinate, and think small, their energy will pull you down. But if you spend time with people who are disciplined, positive, and growth-minded, you will naturally rise. Your environment is silently shaping you every day. Choose it consciously. Sixth, invest in your character. This may be the most important investment of all. Your character is who you are when no one's watching. It is your honesty, your integrity, your self-control, your courage. You can have money and skills, but without character, you will eventually lose what you have built. People might follow a talented person for a while, but they will only deeply trust someone with strong character. A dishonest person may climb quickly, but they fall even faster. A person with character may take longer to rise, but when they do, their success is stable. So practice honesty even when lying seems easier. Keep your promises even when they are inconvenient. Do the right thing even when no one will know. Discipline yourself to wake up when you said you would, to finish what you started, to stay consistent. Character is not built in one big moment. It is built in small choices made again and again. Now let's talk about something people don't like to think about: the return on self-investment and the pain of not investing. Every minute you spend improving yourself is never wasted. Every dollar you spend on becoming wiser, healthier, stronger, more skilled, more grounded in character is never truly lost. It is stored inside you. Shoes get old, clothes go out of style, phones become outdated, cars lose value, but the knowledge you gain, the skills you master, the habits you build, the strength you develop, they stay. The return of self-investment is not always quick, and that is where many people give up. They try for a week, see no big change, and conclude, this doesn't work. But growth is rarely instant. It is usually silent and slow at first. Think about planting a tree. You put a seed in the ground. For a while, it looks like nothing is happening. But underground roots are forming, spreading, and anchoring. Eventually, a small sprout appears. With time, patience, and care, that little sprout becomes a tree that gives fruit and shade for years. Learning works the same way. You might read today and feel like your life is the same tomorrow, but keep going. After a year of consistent learning, your thinking will change. After 2 years, your decisions will change. After 5 years, your life will be in a completely different place from those who never bothered to learn. The same with skills. Today you may speak nervously or struggle with a new skill. People might laugh. You might feel clumsy, but if you stick with it one day, you will stand and speak with power. One day you will look at something that used to terrify you and think, I can do this? And you'll realize every awkward, uncomfortable practice was worth it. Even your health is an investment that pays slowly but powerfully. One workout will not transform your body. One healthy meal will not change your life. But months of consistency will. Years of caring for your body will give you strength when others are slowing down. And here is something beautiful: self-investment creates opportunities. People notice when you grow. They see your confidence, your insight, your reliability. They may not know what you've been doing in private, but they feel the difference. From the outside, it sometimes looks like luck. Wow, that person just got a big promotion. Wow, that person suddenly has an amazing opportunity. But often what looks like luck is actually the result of years of quiet, unseen investment. Now there is another side to this story: the cost of not investing. If you don't invest in learning, the world moves forward, and you don't. New technologies appear. New industries rise and fall. New opportunities show up. Those who keep learning can adapt, shift, and thrive. Those who stop learning stay in the same place, wondering why they feel more and more left behind. Ignorance is not free. It is very expensive. If you don't invest in health, your body will let you know sooner or later. At first, you might feel fine. You might say, "I don't need exercise," or "It's okay, I can survive on little sleep." But your body always keeps score. Over time, energy drops, illness increases, and simple daily tasks start to feel heavy. If you don't invest in your mindset, negativity takes over automatically. You don't have to plant seeds of fear; they grow on their own when the mind is empty. You begin to see problems everywhere and opportunities nowhere. You hesitate when you should act. You say, "What if it goes wrong?" so many times that you never discover what could go right. If you don't invest in your skills, you become replaceable. You stay in low-paying jobs not because you are unworthy of more, but because you don't have the skills that the market rewards. You watch others progress and tell yourself stories about luck, while deep inside you know you have not done the work. If you don't invest in your character, trust erodes. People may still smile at you, but they will not build with you. They may talk to you, but they will not confide in you. Opportunities shrink when people don't trust who you are on the inside. So remember this: not investing in yourself is the most expensive decision you can make. You might think you are saving time, saving money, saving energy. In reality, you are losing your future. But here is the good news: you do not have to change everything overnight. You don't have to become a perfect person tomorrow. Real growth is not a giant leap. It is a series of small steps repeated with consistency. Read 10 pages of a good book. Move your body for 20 minutes. Listen to one helpful lesson. Practice one part of a skill. Write down one meaningful goal. These actions might feel tiny today, but over months and years they add up to something powerful. The gap between who you are now and who you can become is built and crossed through small daily choices. One day of effort will not transform you. 1 year of effort will. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. If you start today, just small, simple steps, repeated, your thinking will be clearer, your body will feel stronger, your skills will be sharper, your confidence will be higher, your relationships will be deeper, your opportunities will be greater. That is the quiet magic of self-investment. It does not shout in the beginning, but it speaks loudly in the results. My friend, you are your greatest asset. You are the most important project you will ever work on. No investment on earth will ever compare to the return of investing in your mind, your health, your skills, your relationships, and your character. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for someone to save you. Do not wait for luck to knock on your door. Start where you are, with what you have. Today, give yourself permission to grow. Decide that every day, no matter how small the step, you will do something to invest in you. Read, learn, move, practice, reflect, improve. Here at English Achieve, That is what we are committed to, helping you grow step by step into the strongest version of yourself through language, through mindset, through practical wisdom. So if this message is speaking to you, don't just let it pass. Make a decision, take a breath, place your hand on your heart for a moment, and say to yourself, I choose to invest in me. Then, as a simple first action, stay connected to this journey. Hit subscribe so that every time we share a new lesson, it becomes another seed in your garden. Tap. Like if this spoke to you, it helps this message reach more people who need it. And share it with someone you care about, someone you don't want to see give up on themselves. Because when you invest in yourself, you don't just change your own life, you become an example that can change the lives of others. One day you will look back on this moment and realize it was not just another video, it was a turning point. The day you stopped waiting, the day you stopped doubting, the day you chose to become your greatest investment. Start now, stay consistent, and let the returns transform your life.